seed level or talking about market size and TAM, but it's more of a project showcase. If you've been to Stanford or MIT, it's more of a opportunity for the projects to shine and the fellows to really talk about what they built, in the span here. And so ODNC, by the way, each cohort's about 8 weeks long. So everything you're seeing today is typically, unless they tell us it's built in 8 weeks, or some of them have done it in like a week in the last week. So this is an opportunity to look at all that. So let's look at the journey that brought us to Demo Day today. So our cohort, the current cohort, is about 112 people, spread across all over the globe. As you could see, as I was calling out some of the fellows, we're in all continents, definitely, maybe except Antarctica, but I'm looking forward towards the first fellow from Antarctica joining ODNC. But we're all over, and it's about 60 of these fellows in the cohort actually submitted their capstones, which is their final projects, to be included in these showcase sessions, which are actually internal prelims. And the top picks from showcase sessions, in this case, 15 of them have made it to the demo day, no code demo day. So I want to use this opportunity also to thank our judges in the prelims, in the showcase sessions, who helped out, who volunteered with their time. So thank you for all of you here. So to zoom back a little bit, and so for the 3 people in the audience who haven't heard about ODNC, what we're trying to achieve here, I want to talk a little bit about it. So our goal at ODNC is to become the #1 institution for the most ambitious no-code builders in the world. It's a very ambitious dream, and it's going to take a while, and we're completely invested and committed to making this dream happen. So in terms of the practical aspect of it, like what does the program look like? There are so many components here, and I want to highlight one aspect which is very interesting. And one of the fellows actually said this, and so I'm quoting a fellow's words. He said, "ODNC is less of a course, but more of a buffet, thoughtfully curated, learning experiences." So we have a combination of skill builder workshops, which are basically, tangible, practical things you can learn in these workshops. Fireside chats with thought leaders and founders in the no-code space. Just Ship It sessions are basically in 60 minutes, you get to hang out with an expert and actually build an app, take it from an idea to ship it, in 60 minutes. And these are usually like our favorite, like highly ranked events. And of course, we have think tanks and masterminds and so on. One of the obvious things that is compounding over time is the perks. A lot of the partners are coming into our program, and they want to offer a way for new fellows to try their platform. So we're amassing a big list of perks there. So the kind of personas we want to serve, broadly speaking, these are the 4 types we want to serve. And I kind of want to skip over that because it's basically founders and bootstrap founders and employees. So one thing, just lieu of time, just want to make sure, want to give you like why no code though? What's the context? This graph, I saw this a couple months ago. Sorry, someone's mic is not muted. Can we all please go on mute? Okay. So this blew my mind when I first came across, which is the amount of developers, the number of developers in the world in the professional workspace are about 26 million people. That's mind blowing. To put it in context, it's about 0.3%. So no code is enabling and empowering the other 99.7%. So it's a pretty big deal. And it's not just starting, it's already in momentum. So no coders are already pushing the envelope of what's possible. I give you 3 examples here. A chemical engineer with no CS degree, with no coding background, has built a GPT-3 enabled bubble app and just had his first exit. A lawyer, again, with no CS background, no computer science background, built a contract automation generator and officially got hired at a world-class startup. Hint, hint, it's on deck. And a badass non-technical founder, she built an MVP and gained traction and raised a pre-seed round, all with using no-code tools. And if there's one thing that's common among them, guess what? They're all ODNC fellows. I'm incredibly proud. And I'm always reminded about the kind of impact our fellows are creating out in the economy, out in the market. And I mean, there's the combinations of like people who are doing VC-backed startups, using no-code tools and low-code tools, raising rounds like Remy and UX Plus and No Code Ops. People who are joining, being hunted, being sought by world-class startups like Product Hunt and Coda and Main Street, especially because no-code skills today are like our hot skill set. Some of them went to YC. In the last YCS 21 batch, we had a couple on deck no-code fellows. Some of them won maker grants, and most meaningfully to me, a couple of fellows actually took no-code, knowledge and skills and applied it in social impact context. Like, there were folks who built COVID-19 apps. There were folks who built Afghanistan aid apps, given what's going on in Afghanistan. So it's been incredible to watch the way it is being applied, and I'm really proud as a program director and as someone who's been able to watch some of these fellows. Okay, enough of me saying about all these nice things, but here's what our fellows say about the program. A lot of them, if you can, quickly take a look and just kind of glance over it, you'll realize a lot of them highlight that it is about the community, and I couldn't agree more. It's not a course. It's not a structured learning experience. It's not about school. It's not school. It is about the people you do it with, and it is about learning by building. That's why we have a capstone project, the demo day, and so on. And I want to take a moment and say special thanks to our partners, without whom ODNC wouldn't be as awesome as it is. Our major partner, Bubble, shout out. And over the time, we've accrued a remarkable list of all-star partners. As you can see, pretty much all the big names in the no-code, low-code industry are here, and we're grateful for their support. This is a great segue to invite one of our special guests today, Eric Schoenberg, to say a few words.
Awesome. Thank you so much, KP. Hey, everyone. Great to see you all. Excited to see this and chat with you about something that's very special to me. I'm just going to give you a bit of the untold story before On Deck started. We like to paint it as this sort of romantic journey from On Deck dinners to the On Deck Fellowship, and then many more fellowships in between. But I sort of want to tell people just a little bit of kind of the untold story, because this story is messy. And what I want to get across the idea today that we're all going, some of that stuff is going to work, some of that just stop on the journey.
I think, Eric, we're having bandwidth issues with your video. Eric, can you hear us? Your audio froze, looks like.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes, better now.
Sorry. So what I was saying is that you guys are going to create things. Some of them are going to work. Some of them are not going to work. But I want to just share this story as inspiration for when the things don't work, why to keep continuing or to keep experimenting, keep iterating. The On Deck dinners started in 2016. The fellowship started in 2019. That was 3 years in the wilderness, tinkering, experimenting, trying new things. We launched a lot of things that didn't work. We launched the Rise Awards. If you look up Rise Awards, Eric Thornburg, TechCrunch, you'll see we launched this thing and tried to be sort of Forbes 30 under 34 employees. It was a pretty cool idea, cool hack, got a bunch of applications, but didn't get enough momentum to really get it off the ground. We launched this thing called On Deck Daily, sort of like a hacker news for the tech space. Kind of worked, didn't really work. We then pivoted to a crypto thing called Token Daily, kind of worked, didn't really work, and a number of other iterations, many brainstorm sessions, many potential co-founders. Again, 3 years searching in the wilderness. I was starting to develop a reputation as someone all over the place. Why can't he stick to one thing? Why is he keep hacking, keep shipping, keep iterating? And maybe I switched too quickly, but ultimately we found something that worked with the fellowship. Found a co-founder that worked with David Booth, and so the idea I want to leave people with is to be okay with ambiguity, to understand that it's a long process, and to if you have that could be the thing. Spend time on it, see it to what seems true to you. But if not, don't be embarrassed to keep making things, to keep shipping things. There's a lot of learning that you have as a result. It's a great way to meet other people, and on deck as a result of maybe 10 or so of these projects and 10 or so of these co-founders before finding the right thing 3 years later. So that's the idea I want to leave with you, and thank you all for being a part of ODNC.
Thank you so much, Eric. I like to think that the 2016 Eric would have joined ODNC to hack and build here. So moving on to our, hopefully I'm still sharing. Yeah, okay, I'm sharing. Moving on to introducing our panel of judges. We have an all-star panel here. Just want to say thank you so much for Andreas, who's the CTO of OnDeck and investor at Remote First Capital, Mario Vargas, who's joining Bubble, and James Chan, who's a partner at Bloomberg Beta. Judges, if you want to come off mute, say like 1 or 2 lines before we move to the next part.
Maria, you want to go first?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Marielle. I've been in the no-code community for quite a few years now. I've been following KP for quite a few years as well, so it's super awesome to be here and be a judge today. And so actually recently I've joined Bubble officially to lead instructor happiness and just overall instruction and improve how we deliver content and so forth and so forth. So I'm super excited to see all the apps today and get to meet you all and get to know you all. So thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for spending your Friday with us, Mariel.
Absolutely. Love it.
And I'm James Cham, and I'm with a seed stage firm called Bloomberg Beta. And it is inspiring to see the variety of products that are being built. And I think I shared a link in the chat about the only empirical study I can find on the difference between no code and sort of traditional startups. And I think what's exciting about it is like that cut in time to market can make a dramatic difference, because of course startups, as you heard from Eric, are not just about sort of like having the perfect vision, but they're really about messiness and about speed and iteration and running around and grit and hustle. And I think, companies like Bubble enable that. And so it's wonderful to be here.
Thank you, James. Thanks for being here.
Hey, everyone. My name is Andreas. I work in engineering at OnDeck. I'm a big fan of ODNC. Like, don't tell this KP because it goes to his head, but like, it's actually my favorite program at OnDeck. And it's always ridiculous how good the companies are that come out of ODNC. I have no idea how people do this in this time. But anyway, like, I'm a big fan, and I'm excited to see what's happening today.
Thank you so much, Andreas. Appreciate you all. Moving on to the next part. So the criteria for today's pitches, for today's demo day pitches, are going to be not just the demo, the build. It is going to be all these 5 components. So the judges will look at it on the themes of idea, progress, polish, and wildcard. We are, of course, not including things like market size and TAM, and so hopefully, that it's not about that. And each pitch will have 3 minutes. Each presenter will have 3 minutes, and 2 minutes after that is for a clarifying question or 2 from the judges. And just want to be conscious, we have 15 back-to-back pitches, so it'll be very fast after my little spiel here. And so judges, there's no time for feedback per se. Maybe we can do it, after the event, if there's any specific feedback you want to convey to some of the fellows, but definitely use that 2 minute for any clarifying questions that will help you in scoring. With that said, here's the prize categories. We have a ton of prizes here. The third prize, second prize, of course, the demo day winner. And we also have a major partner prize. Since Bubble's a major partner, it's going to be best built on Bubble. And audience, we want you to be engaged and interact as well. So we have a crowd favorite prize. So stay tuned for that link that Jenna's going to drop in the chat soon. Okay, so last slide about logistics. Feel free to encourage your co-presenters or other fellows and just people in general, in Zoom chat and YouTube and Restream, whatever. Tweet about your favorite projects. Take screenshots if you want. Use hashtag ODNZ2. And yeah, keep an eye on what has been your favorite project for today, so you can vote for them, towards the end. And at the end of the final, all the 15 pitches, there will be some time left for judges to go into a breakout room and deliberate and decide, on the awards. And that's when we will do crowd favorite polling. With that said, here's the pitch order. So the first presenter for today is going to be Alessandro Svensson. Take it away, Alessandro.
Cool. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Awesome. There we go. Okay. Hi, and welcome everyone to the presentation of Subtokens. So Subtokens is a tool suited for brands, influencers, creators, and their audiences. The idea behind Subtokens is to capture engagement data from social media and map that data to actions that get stored in a token. So for example, a liking of a post can be used as a currency for a discount code, or replying to a tweet can be used to trigger an event. Oops. Yeah. So let me demonstrate how this works with a small prototype. So imagine the following scenario. I'm a creator. I've written an ebook about design and data science that I want to distribute to my audience via Twitter. The conditions I want to create is that who likes or retweets the tweets get a free download of the book. So this is how I would create this token in the app. In the Subtoken app, you generate a token by clicking Create Subtoken. Here you can add an image to your token. You can provide a name and a description, which I've already pre-entered here. Then you hit Next. We want to apply this token to Twitter. Here we paste a link to the actual tweet. And we want to issue this token if a user has either retweeted or liked this tweet for the action download of the ebook. Then we generate token, we double check that everything looks fine, and then we hit confirm, and we are done. Now, let's see what this looks like from the audience perspective. So the audience come across the same tweet in their feed. If they're interested in the ebook, they will click like or retweet and instantly get a notification that the ebook is now available for download. And this is how they retrieve the asset in the app. To retrieve a subtoken, you simply click Retrieve Subtoken. You get a list of all your retrieved tokens previously. And here we have the Design and Data Science ebook. Perfect. We click that and then we simply choose Download File. Yeah, so the no-code stack that I've used for this prototype consists of a download Zapier and Xano. I've used Airtable and Google Sheets as storage. I used a tool called Arrows for the graph data modeling and ingested the data into a graph, which will serve as the main backend in the end. Going forward, the UX and UI will be way more refined, as well as scaling of the actual backend. The feedback received so far from the community has been overwhelmingly positive. I think Subtokens really seems to resonate with people. I particularly like these 3 comments, and I also want to give a huge shout out to everybody who provided feedback, and especially my lovely mastermind group at ODNC. And with that, I want to say thank you. Please sign up for the waitlist if you're interested, and open this up for questions.
Perfect. Over to the judges.
So I'm not sure I totally get the experience from the end user. So do I have to install the Substack app in order to get benefits, or is it a collection or library calculator?
Yeah, so what happens here is that when you issue a token, right, like you issue a set of conditions. So one condition could be that you like the token and that triggers like an email. But to get the sort of full experience is a 2-part thing. So basically everybody has the app. And if you have the app, it's completely seamless. So it's a platform idea that works at scale, so to speak. So you need the network effects behind it. And the incentives to sort of download it is that the incentives or sort of the marketing of the app itself happens through the influencers, right? Like, so if say if you get 50% off ODNC's next cohort, that could be an incentive to actually download the app to be eligible for that for that thing. Yeah. Any other question?
I will ask a very stupid question, and bear with me. I'm the kind of person that sleeps in school when the teacher talks, so
everything
I
is
hope I take
fair.
enough
Everything
attention.
is fair here. Yes.
When you say token, you mean ERC20 tokens?
Sorry, I can't really hear you. You're breaking up.
When you say tokens, you mean ERC20 tokens, like crypto tokens?
No, I mean it more as a more conceptual, but I think the inspiration for me has been NFTs, right? Like, so it's within that space, basically, where you can gather a data point, store it somewhere, and then apply kind of like a value to it that is 100% customizable. So basically what it does is that a like doesn't only have to mean a like, right? Like you can add whatever conditions that you want to it. So you sort of develop conditions on the back of a behavior that people already have on their social media app, if that's the use case.
Really cool. I have like a ton of thoughts of this, but
Okay, so sounds good.
Time?
Timekeeper appeared, which means we don't have time. So we're moving to the next presenter. Thank you so much, Alessandro.
Thank you.
It's going to be Anna Eaglin. Take it away, Anna.
Okay, let me get started. All right, so if you have, I'm excited. So I'm Anna, let me get started. I'm excited to share the digital case workspace with you all today. So if you have ever talked to me at a party or in any social situation, really, you know that I am very interested in cold cases. And that's because my startup Uncovered, we are building technology to solve cold cases. And when I say a cold case is an unsolved criminal investigation that remains open pending the discovery of new evidence. So we're doing that in two ways today. We've got a database of cold cases we're putting together, but more importantly, we have a community of people who are interested in learning how to contribute their skills to cold cases. So talk a little bit about the problem. There's over 200,000 cold cases in the United States today, and that goes up by 5,000 every single year. At the same time, true crime content is absolutely blowing up. People can't make enough documentaries, podcasts. There are people who are engaged in this content and they want to do more about these cases, but they don't know how. Cold case research is confusing and the barriers to entry are super high. So here at Uncovered, so we've built this engaged community, but we didn't have a tool to enable collaboration on cold cases with our members and to allow our company to get access to that data to add it to our database. So that's why I built the Uncovered Digital Case Workspace. It enables our community members to collaborate on cold cases. So let me walk you through a demo.
And if you intended to have audio in this one, we can't hear the audio. Sure.
All right, let's try this one more time.
I've been invited because I'm a member of the Uncovered community. I see my cases I'm involved in. But I want to jump into this new case. So I can jump in. I can't really do anything on this case yet, but I want to go ahead and join it. So I'm going to join it, and now I can actually take action here. So I see the dashboard of the case. I see important photos here. I see activity too. This is manually updated by people on the case. I see tasks that we're working on. I'm going to jump into people and objects now. So these are important people in the case. I see the people that have been added. I see objects, important places and things, as well as some victim characteristics of this missing case. Locations are really important in a case, so I'm able to log those. But not only can I log those, I can see them on the map. I can see sources of information. So this is where am I getting my information about this case? So here's some fake sources I pulled in, but it's generally media. And finally, it's all tied together with the timeline where I can add information. I tag people, I tag locations, I tag it with a source, I pull it all together. And this is how we're going to enable people in our community to work together to solve cold cases.
All right.
It's Anna, and here's your...
So progress during ODNC. So we've been using a Google Sheet for this process in our community. So I've gotten feedback. I know how people are using it. I discovered Bubble during ODNC. I made a to-do list. That's like basically the hello world of Bubble. I didn't know what I wanted to do for my capstone. I decided to productize this sheet. I started that about 2 weeks ago. We actually just opened up our community to the public on Monday. We doubled based on our beta users. People are excited about what we're building. I got great feedback on this tool, but I'm looking for more user validation. Totally built on Bubble. Would love to integrate it with our stack, especially from an auth perspective. And finally, next time you encounter someone at a party who won't stop talking about cold cases, tell them about Uncovered and introduce them to me. Thank you.
Perfect. Over to the judges.
Mariel, you want to go? Or
Oh yes. Hi Anna. This very nice app. I'd love to know. Do you have a co-founder, or are you working? You built it yourself in Bubble?
Yeah. So for Uncovered, I have 2 co-founders for the stuff we're building there. For Bubble, it's me spending a lot of late nights putting together. Again, we have a Google Sheet that we've been doing this kind of work. We've been sharing it with our community, and people have been using it. We use it ourselves because we do a lot of case research. But I really wanted to productize that because, as you know, spreadsheets can be great, but moving from tab to tab, you just can't see the relatedness of that information. And when you're working with something like case data, the visualization of that information is key.
Absolutely, yeah. How did you integrate the map functionality?
Oh, wow. I I now understand the one piece of the Google Developer Cloud thing that I need. You know, Bubble walked me totally through it. I'll be honest. Your guys' help tutorial, I'm not trying to like stroke your ego, but it walked me absolutely completely through it. So yes, but the map is totally integrated.
Great job.
Thank you.
I know I'm not supposed to give feedback, but I'm just so impressed by what a different experience it is between Google Docs and the Bubble experience. And there's that part of me that sort of was like, oh, you've created an entirely new media experience here. And it sounds really dangerous because just think of all the time people are going to stay up late at night, obsessively looking up details.
Yeah, well, imagine that they already do and we make that easier. Maybe they'll get to sleep sooner.
Okay, now seriously speaking, like when you think about sort of issues around liability, what's the right way to think about that?
Yeah, great question. I'll answer it quickly. We have a community code of conduct, so we have guidelines all about that. What's a good source? What data do we share? What data do we not share? So everyone who's a part of our community has to agree to that.
Great.
Excellent. Andreas, I'm going to skip over you if that's okay. Cool. Awesome. Moving on, our next presenter is going to be Coco Wynn, talking about Rocketship.
Thank you. Okay, welcome everyone. So I really want to start off with a problem. Sorry, just give me a minute. Right, sorry about that. I really want to start off with a hiring problem that's focusing on Asia. So as a startup employer, hiring is getting a lot more difficult to hire qualified talent, and retaining these talents is getting a lot more challenging because larger firms are basically offering higher salaries to these talents. But as a talent on the other side, the repercussions of COVID, and in Myanmar's case, where I'm from, the coup has also rendered many people jobless. With a poor financial infrastructure and a GDP that's expected to contract by at least 25%, it's getting a lot more challenging for talents like myself to find decent jobs right now locally and in the foreseeable future. Our solution is Rocketship. Rocketship aims to match tech startups with quality vetted, high quality remote tech talent from across Southeast Asia. Our plan is to solve this problem by matching the right remote talent to the right curated jobs. Then secondly, upskilling these talents to get ready for remote work, and then afterwards scaling this model in an emerging country in the ASEAN. Our vision for Rocketship is much more than just a matching service. So we envision Rocketship to be a flywheel that's driven by the community, then upskilling through our Rocketship Academy, and then actually getting hired. And this is how it works.
Hi everyone, this is a quick demo of the Rocketship site. You can apply as a rock star, and once you do that, you'll be brought to this type form where you can fill in your application. Once you've done that, this will be brought onto the master talent form, which is a database that we keep, where the next step will be a behavioral interview, then a technical interview, and once you're accepted, this will be brought to the talent dashboard. So on the hiring side of things, if you're willing to hire, you can go to this page where you'll sign up really quickly, and then you'll be brought to this dashboard. This is where you'll see all the vetted talent. And once you click on the vetted talent that you like, you can check their profile over here, and schedule an interview with them with our Calendly link, and you're on your way to make your first hire with Rocketship. Thank you very much.
Okay, cool. So we actually made a lot of progress during ODNC too. Actually starting with a landing page, then we built out an application process through Webflow, hiring site with Software, and then an Airtable database. So till date, we actually have 40 plus talent signups, 7 employer interests, and 2 signed letters of intent to use our service. And the best part is we actually haven't launched yet. And this is all through word of mouth. I'm also really happy to say that Rocketship is powered by 100% no code. Main tools that we use are Webflow, Software, Airtable, Typeform. For design, we use Figma. For documentation, we use Notion. And community building is done mainly within Clubhouse and Discord. And that is Rocketship for you. Thank you very much for listening, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Great. Over to the judges.
This is incredible. Thank you so much for such a beautiful site as well.
Sorry.
So just one quick question. How are you, or what's the plan to be able to have the candidates fill out the application? Potentially, maybe there's a limit on internet limits in the location. So what's going to be the level of efforts to give access to potential candidates?
Right. So as a minimum, we require candidates to have at least a working computer and some sort of internet connection. We actually require candidates to have at least a 5 megabit per second to a 10 megabit per second because we're really dealing with tech talent. So they need to be able to have those as a prerequisite. We are actively also trying to get our clients to also provide work from home packages when they start when we start matching them and then actually start the job, so that if there are cases whereby we do have people that are not sufficient in terms of these requirements, they'll be able to actually start work in any case.
Makes sense. Great idea. Thank you so much.
What was the trickiest thing to build in the prototype?
Right. So I think, to be honest, I think it was the authentication part. We tried doing a little bit of authentication with Webflow, but then it didn't really work as we intended. So we switched to Software, which already had an authentication module.
And authentication just meaning user login or like actual biometrics or?
Just the user login itself.
Got it.
Yep.
You've built a lot in a short amount of time.
Thank you.
Andres, you're going on and off mute. Do you have a comment?
I just want to say that this kind of projects are needed in Southeast Asia, especially in Myanmar right now. So kudos for doing that.
That's cool.
Thank you for that.
Great work, Coco. All right, moving on to our next presenter. It's going to be Sebastian talking about Homey. Take it away, Sebastian.
All right. Welcome, everyone. Sharing my screen. All right, welcome to Homey, the new home for homeschool creators. But before I get into Homey, let me quickly address the elephant in the room. Why is a guy from Germany without kids talking about homeschooling in the US? Well, because I'm not the hero of this story. Meet Quinta, a homeschool mom of 3, who kicked off this project during OnDeck's hackathon 4 weeks ago. Because when she started homeschooling, she had a lot of questions, like what curriculum to teach, how to teach subjects she doesn't know anything about, how to socialize her kids, and many, many more. And the tools available to her looked like they were built in the 90s, which is quite surprising, frankly, because the homeschooling market is a $1 billion market in the US alone. Because it turns out Quinta is not alone. There are 2 million parents homeschooling their kids right now, and more than 50% actually started homeschooling this year. So it's no wonder that they all flock to Facebook to get their questions answered. And during the hackathon, we set ourselves a mission to make homeschooling easier by connecting like-minded parents to facilitate community and knowledge sharing. And we built a platform for that. And here you see Quinta pitching and winning the hackathon from her actual closet like a true rock star. So after the hackathon, we went into validation mode. We facilitated 3 live workshops with experts. We surveyed 149 parents, We spent countless of hours on Facebook talking to parents to learn about the market. And we learned that the pain is real. The confusion and isolation are at an all-time high. Parents really crave expert guidance, but experts seem to be struggling to monetize their expertise. So we thought, how might we help these experienced homeschoolers to share and monetize their expertise while providing certainty and guidance to these parents? So without further ado, let's take a look at where Home is at right now. Enjoy.
Homey is an easy-to-use marketplace for homeschoolers. Creators can set up their own classes, define their price, attendee limit, and much more. They can schedule how often a class should occur and schedule as many classes as they want. Users can easily find specific classes they are interested in, and once they've found one they want to attend, they can simply purchase a ticket. On the back end, we are automatically distributing all the earnings, and we are taking a small fee for our service. Once a class is started, parents can join that class with a few simple clicks. They just have to give access to their microphone and camera, and then they can attend either a one-on-one class or a one-to-many class with up to 200 parents.
All right, so that's where Home is at right now. All of this was built within 6 days using Bubble. We use Daily for the video rooms and Stripe Connect for marketplace payments. And that's already it from me. Thank you very much for listening. Happy to answer all your questions.
Right on time.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Sebastian, for this. A question, when are you all planning on launching or having your platform available to the public? Because I know right now your landing page doesn't have those features yet. So it looks beautiful, and I know how much work it is, what we all saw, so thank you.
Yeah, we don't have a specific launch date, but we're actively onboarding experts already. We just had a call 2 hours ago with an expert, just walking them through the onboarding experience and learning. We'll launch when we are ready, but we're like in soft launch, just mainly focusing on experts right now before we do like an official launch.
Cool, thank you.
I think Marielle might have also been asking because she just had a kid, and so she's hoping to just be ready.
Yeah, exactly, right? I'm like looking for options. To be fair,
Absolutely
though,
happy to have you.
Homeschooling is a whole different thing that I don't know I'll be ready for.
Talk about a few specific.
You're like, what's the countdown to school again?
Now, there are parts of this that look familiar. I wonder, sort of for you, what are things that are unique to the homeschooling problem experience that you've thought about and built?
Yeah, so I think that the core is really community. So we actively building a community. It's not part of my capstone, so I didn't talk about it here, but community and really bringing parents together and connecting them with experts, but giving them a safe space to talk and ask questions, right? So really facilitating, in the US, it's called co-ops. There's actually a thing where they come together and share experience, help other kids to teach the other kids. So really bringing community together, I think, is the core feature of the platform.
Cool. Andreas, any last comments before we move?
Let's move on. It's too quick.
I love that we have a man of a few words here among us. So moving on to our next presenter, it's going to be Shreyansh talking about Nect. Take it away, Shreyansh.
Thank you. Hi everyone, my name is Shreyansh and I'm the founder of Nect Social Delivery, Pinduoduo for food delivery. With everyday food delivery becoming extremely expensive due to high delivery and service fee for students like me and restaurants struggling due to low margins and high costs associated with delivery platforms, I came up with the idea of social delivery, helping students socialize over fresh, healthy, and affordable meals from the best local restaurants for just $12.5 and supporting local businesses by helping them in improving their top and bottom line through bulk orders during off-peak hours. Here's a demo.
Your next hangout delivered. As a customer, you can explore our customer testimonials and see why our customers love us. You can get 100 plus meals from the best local restaurants and save over 40% as compared to competitors like Uber Eats and DoorDash. You can explore different restaurants that we have partnered up with and that you can order from. And you can also explore different menu options for every day. And once you're convinced, you can go and subscribe for a monthly plan for $250. Pay like this, check out. And then after paying, you can go back and then you can choose your meals for the week. So for example, for Monday, I would love to get some ramen. So I choose the vegan ramen. And then on Wednesday, I'll get some Indian food, fish masala. And then I can check out, pay for everything. And then I'll have all of my meals delivered to me every day for lunch. And I can socialize over fresh, healthy, and affordable meals from the best local restaurants with my friends.
After launching our marketplace for students during ODNC2, we grew 400% month over month and increased our monthly recurring revenue from just $5,000 to over $20,000. We help local businesses in winning by helping them in generating $20,000 in additional revenue. We help students in winning by helping them in saving $12,000 in delivery fees. And we help save the environment by reducing 8,000 kg of CO2 emissions after delivering over 1,600 meals in just 20 trips. But the best part for us is the smile on the faces of our customers when I deliver them food every day. With over 70% retention rate, each subscriber brings 3 new subscribers along with them because they love our concept so much and want us to grow quickly. Our no-code stack is Shopify, along with integrations like Stripe and MailChimp, and the designs being done through Figma. With our average delivery consisting of 80 orders and the biggest delivery being 250 orders, and that too when only 20% of students were on campus due to summer and COVID, we are really excited for some explosive growth with a campus full of thousands of students this fall. With expansion plans to universities across Canada within the next couple of months, we are raising our pre-seed round and would love to get in touch with angels and VCs interested in being a part of our journey. Thank you.
That was awesome.
I might have missed this detail. The social angle is the fact that I'm broadcasting when I'm ordering, or what's the social angle to this?
Right now, currently the social angle is that you're enjoying food with your friends. So our subscribers inviting their subscribers to order together with them, and they can enjoy food from different restaurants together. And as you get more subscribers with you, you get more discounts for the meals that you're getting.
Got it. And just to make sure I get that part right, meaning that when we enjoy it together, meaning we're ordering at the same time, or you're delivering all the food to the same location?
I'm delivering all the food at the same time to all the students, and most of the students, being roommates, they order food like from different restaurants and enjoy it together.
Great.
Love the traction. I love, this is why I love being a no code, the ability to, not only test out ideas, but really have, lifestyle and actual businesses running on these platforms. So congrats.
Thank you.
Awesome progress, and I know how hard it is. So thank you.
So basically the whole student house can order together and get the food delivered at the same time, right?
Yes.
James, are you investing, or are you already writing your products?
That's right. I think Min's written a sort of an angel check already.
Okay. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
It's really interesting. I think you're onto something really big.
Thank you so much.
And judges, happy to make intros, after the show. Thanks, Shriyansh. Moving on to our next presenter. It's going to be actually a duo. It's 2 of them, Saurav and Facundo, and talk about Belief Capital.
Hey everyone, this is Saurav and Facundo, and we're going to be talking about Belief Capital. So last month, Facundo and I, we were discussing about how belief is something which is all around us. Still, we don't have a way to transact it. So we made it a mission to make belief a tangible asset so that we can transact it. And we noticed that belief is something very important, especially for an idea which is at the inception stage. So we built an app which makes it very simple for anyone to invest their belief in others. All they got to do is that just go to the Twitter account where they want to invest their belief and tag Belief Capital. That's it. And once they do that, their investment is automatically tracked and is proportional to the amount of followers they have. So that makes Belief Capital a quality number and not a vanity number. And you can go to your dashboard and you can see the amount of Belief Capital that you have invested as well as the Belief Capital you have earned.
But it's not so simple on the back end. Managing Twitter accounts, backend algorithms, and not to mention responsive design, we had our work cut out for us. So we decided to use the 2 best no-code tools available, Bubble and Xano. We use Bubble because there's no way to build a project like this in 2 weeks from start to finish. And we went with Xano because we have our database right next to our business logic. And we need a complex business logic to handle all the mentions and precisely determine whether or not a mention is an exact intent to invest. So let's see how it works.
So belief capital makes it extremely easy for anyone to invest their belief in others. All you got to do is tag belief capital in the Twitter post where you want to invest your belief, and you'll be able to see from your dashboard the total amount of belief capital that you have invested into others, as well as the belief capital that you have earned from others. You can embed the badge from your dashboard on your website so that you can track the belief capital that you're earning from others from your website itself. Also, you'll be able to see the top funded projects as well as the top investors from your dashboard itself. And for each investor, you'll be able to go to their profile to see who are the top consignee for that particular investor in that week.
All right, so can you show us the love?
Sure, yeah. We earned a lot of belief capital by building this in public and engaging with the leaders in this space. One of the highlights of the journey so far has been getting some attention from Nawal. It means a lot for us. Someone wise once said that we rise by lifting others. And through belief capital, we are enabling everyone to lift each other up. So go and invest your belief in people, projects, and ideas. And if you have any question, let us know.
Thanks, guys.
So just to be clear, right now you're saying that you've got the entire back end working and sort of you've got people voting and what's the most believed thing to look at right now?
That's a great point to make, that regardless if you're a user or not, you can go on Twitter and you are a user. As soon as you tag belief capital, you're a user. So you can come in a year from now and have had developed a ton of belief capital, and you're already in our system with all this accumulation.
And what's the most believed thing right now?
Oh, Saurabh, I think we have a tie between 3 no-code projects. We have Nico, he's on here later on, and we have Prakik, I forget, but they're all no-code projects.
So we have the leaderboard up in the dashboard itself. You can have a look. Yeah.
When are you making the decentralized crypto version of this?
That's in the plans. One of the first thing we can try to do is use BitClout's nodes. So they have an open source platform. So that's definitely down the pipeline. Create a node for this for Belief Capital on their platform. Yeah, definitely.
I'm just gonna say, I definitely have questions around the overall product, but I love the storytelling. Super awesome and very engaging and fun, and obsessed with your delivery. So thank you so much. And yay, Bubble.
Yes, of course. Yeah, just like to mention, like in the dashboard on the leaderboards, that will be, or with Twitter, our goal is not to have Twitter as the only place to invest belief capital. You can endorse people. You can go to their website, tag, match their badge and hit OK. So we want to be able to account for any source of belief capital. Twitter is just the first place we can think of. Thanks.
Awesome. Makes sense. All right. Thank you so much. Moving on to our next presenter. It's going to be Oya talking about QuerySo.
Hi.
Awesome. We can see your screen, Oya. Take it away.
Okay. Hi. Let me explain what I am doing. QuerySo is Stack Overflow for no-code tools. Even though I had a technical background at the time when I started no-code development 4 months ago, I put a lot of effort into finding answers to my questions. As I was coding before, the tab that was always open came to mind, which is Stack Overflow. Therefore, I decided to build QuerySo for no-coders who need their own version of it. Today, we are in the middle of a no-code boom. As a result, a number of tools have emerged, some of which can be seen in this slide, and it is evident that more will follow. Thus, the goal of QuerySo is to serve this enormous community to become a point of information who are building with no-code and are in need of answers when they hit a wall. No-coders need answers from the point of view of a no-coder, but they often encounter a lot of technical information. No-coders want a platform that will allow them to interact in groups through various communication channels. Unfortunately, such a platform does not exist. In a nutshell, it is a Q&A platform, but there are some features that a no-coder is going to enjoy. Users can chat with each other through a group chat. Furthermore, QuerySo comes with a whiteboard, screen share, and video calls, which is a great way for no-coders to collaborate and exchange ideas. Here is the demo. Users can sort, filter, and search for questions, can see details of a question. For vote, bookmark, or answer, users need to sign up or log in, can answer and ask by adding a video or image. Asking question is so simple. From tools menu, users can directly reach the question about specific tool. From accounts menu, they can edit their profile settings, credentials, and see some of the statistics. From chats menu, users can join a group, send messages, share screen and whiteboard, send documents, or have audio-video calls. Sorry. Okay, sorry. I have spent 2 weeks for prototyping and 4 weeks for building the app. I'm currently moving forward with UX testing and plan to publish within 2 months if all goes well. I haven't launched the public yet. It's about 90% done. I get some really supportive feedbacks from my fellows who I shared. I use Figma for design, Bubble for developing, Atom Chat for collaboration features. And one more thing. Stack Overflow, where this idea comes from, is acquired for $1.8 billion in 2021. And I hope that QuerySo will be able to help thousands, if not millions, of no-code lovers in near future. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Over to the judges. Thanks.
Thank you.
The real question is, Mario, will you use this?
I mean, there's definitely a need for, the ability to ask a question or figure out how to do something in a specific platform. I think as Oya, as you iterate, the ability to categorize certain specific questions is definitely key. And then I think one component would be how you can communicate that out while people are still not in your platform. And so how you get people basically so this is actually a question that I'll redirect to Oya. How are you, what's the plan to get people to get folks engaged?
Actually, there are some social groups. First, I want to just post my app to that groups and let people to know that there is a platform for no-coders that they can ask their questions or answer questions, that they can help each other. And actually, I have 2 months to launch. I give time for myself 2 months to launch, because I want to work on UX researching and UI designing. And maybe I will, I'm planning to work with digital marketers and the community.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's definitely, that would be the way to go. Thank you so much, Oya.
Thank you.
And when you think about polishing the UX, what is the feature that you want to polish the most?
Maybe from the collaboration tools and the usage of the collaboration tools.
Thank you. Awesome. That was great, Oya. Moving on to thank you. Next presenter, it's going to be Troy Gassner. It's going to talk about air filter. Take it away, Troy.
Sweet. Thanks, KP. So I love staying in Airbnbs. I just don't like spending hours and hours searching for the right Airbnb. And the problem is Airbnb has to be simple enough for everyone to use. And that leaves the user experience pretty basic. not a ton of bells and whistles. So what are we as power users supposed to do? We always want more features, more levels of customization. So what did we do? Rebuild Airbnb? Definitely possible with today's no-code tools, but no. I built AirFilter, a Chrome extension that sits on top of Airbnb, where I can just go nuts and add all the features that I want to Airbnb. So for our demo, let's say KP and the fam are packing up to go to next year's Star Wars convention in Anaheim.
So KP knows where he's going and when, but he's got 300 plus options to choose. He could start adding filters here, but every time he comes back to Airbnb, he'd have to reapply those same filters. That's why he used the AirFilter Chrome extension, saved all the parameters he wanted for this trip once, bedrooms, price, all the different amenities. So when he goes to Airbnb, he can just use the AirFilter Chrome extension, click apply, and his options are narrowed down from 300 down to 10 stays. But let's say KP's wife reminds him to make sure the place has a dishwasher for the kids' pacifiers. Airbnb doesn't have a native filter for this, so he could just scour all the pictures for dishwasher. But with the AirFilter Chrome extension, using the secret filters function, dishwasher exists, so he can just click apply and go from 10 stays down to 7 stays, much more manageable.
And look, you don't just have to take my word for it. We're literally making lives better with this thing, says ODNC2's own Kelly Kloss. And it's hard to argue with this growth curve, steadily going up and to the right, just about to pass 20 users, but well on our way to tens of thousands. And while we are still small, we already have users in about 12 countries. So you may expect this thing to be a team of a dozen engineers working around the clock, but no. The vast majority built with the no-code tool Bubble. And then there's about 2 hours of dev help I've gotten so far to just make the Bubble Chrome extension connection. So what can you do? Well, if you like searching for hours and hours to find the right Airbnb, just disregard everything I said. But if you want to superpower your Airbnb searches, it's time to install AirFilter. Looks like this plane's about to land, so I think we've got time for a couple of questions.
That's way too gimmicky. Okay, tell us. We're all dying to know. Tell us about like the Chrome extension to Bubble connection. Sort of, is that widely available or is that a unique thing? I don't think I've seen it before.
No, it's definitely available. I took it was just honestly the vast majority of this was just like video tutorials, and then I got a couple hours of help to make the connection. But you can run JavaScript from within Bubble. So that's what is the main feature on being able to connect the two.
And then you're using Bubble for the configuration page, but not for the Chrome extension?
Everything that you saw in the demo is Bubble. So the pop-up, the configuration page, all of the user login, everything that you see is within Bubble. The only actual code is when you click apply on a filter, the functionality of using the parameter that is saved in Bubble and then reloading the page, the URL with that parameter added.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. Cool.
Super awesome. Use the Bubble. I love it. I definitely have that problem, right? Where I definitely allow myself like, okay, 3 hours to find an Airbnb. So really good hone in on a real problem. So that's awesome. And then, so this functionality, there's a little bit of custom code that is required to get this to work. But as we can see, it works pretty well. So really great work, Troy. Thank you.
Good question. And I think I'm not the only one who wants to know, like, how do you do the secret filters?
So the secret filters exist in the backend, and I think hosts actually fill them out, and then users submit questionnaires at the end. So the parameters exist, but Airbnb just doesn't expose them while you're searching on the native application. So the parameter and amenity codes exist in the backend. So I'm just was able to find those and then use them as we use the other filters.
Right, because you're just editing the URL, right? The query string.
Yeah.
Cool.
Love that. Awesome. Thank you for using me as a prop. Moving on to our next presenter, it's going to be Lindsay. Take it away, Lindsay.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lindsay Donnelly, and I'm going to tell you about Jersey City Mamas, which is my community, and it is my product now after being a no-code builder. I'm super excited to share with you. First thing you should know is that 1 in 5 women experience anxiety or depression in the first year of their baby's life, and that's in normal times. So that's pre-pandemic, pre-COVID, pre-worrying about your baby's health, being a pregnant mother. And actually the suicide rate in women has tripled in the last 10 years in the United States for new moms. So it's a really important issue for us to be talking about. The good news is that there are ways to treat mental health and to rebound, self-care, medication, therapy, but also community. What's really, really important for new moms in the first year of transitioning to being a mother is that they find a community of other mothers to relate to and connect with. And I am intimately aware of this process because I'm a survivor of postpartum depression. And I also started a community on Instagram called Jersey City Mamas while I was going through it to try and connect with other moms on the internet. It worked out really well. We now have 5,000 followers. The community is managed by 8 different women in the most diverse city in the United States, Jersey City. And so what I decided to do with my On Deck experience was take what I had built for the community on Instagram and try and make a membership portal to enrich that experience for moms and make it more tangible, because I think a lot of times with social media, there is actually negative effects on our mental health. And so I wanted to meet mom where she is on social media, but also provide her a safe space away from there that can actually connect her more deeply to moms in her community around her. So let me show you a little demo of how the member portal looks. So this is a look at the Jersey City Mamas website to an external viewer who's not a member of the group yet, but they can learn a little bit more about us, see a video of the content. They can check out our sponsors and their pages. They can sign up for the newsletter that we have that's available for anyone, as well as see our latest Instagram posts from the feed. And then they can learn more about the community, what people are saying about us. They can meet the moderators, or the people who run the group, my email address. And so I'm going to skip ahead a little bit to where you can log in and see the members. So in the members only directory, I can see other moms in the area who are members. And I can, let's say I'm looking for someone who's open for playdates, so I can filter by open for playdates. I can see that this mom is open for playdates. I can see that she has a 1-year-old child, which is, maybe about the same age as my child, learn a little bit more about her, and get her email address to contact her. So then I can also now go to our events page.
We are at time, so we're going to have to hand over to the judges.
Sure.
Thank you so much, though.
Yeah, no problem. So this is a look at the Jersey City Mamas website. Any questions?
Well, tell us about the stack. Tell us about the stack.
That's what I was going to ask.
Sure. Softer, Airtable, Typeform, and Zapier.
Awesome. So what's your vision for the future of Jersey City Mamas? I know this is definitely a need across, the whole world. So I'd love to know a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so we just kicked off into the second stage of our community, really with On Deck and kind of trying to build this member experience. So now we offer a paid membership. We are inclusive, not exclusive, but we are private. So you can have a sliding scale for your membership. It starts at $1 a month and it goes up to $25 a month with different benefits for any members. But even at the $1 level, you get access to this directory and the community aspects and the events. And we also have sponsors. So I started looking for sponsors at the beginning of the program. We now have 12 who have committed over $7,000 for 2021. And so the goal is to expand in Jersey City first and foremost, and get our members onboarded. We haven't launched the membership at all, and then hopefully bring it to other cities in the country.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Cool. Andreas, if you don't have a question, we can move to the next presenter.
I just want to say this is like very much needed project. Like a lot of my friends have like struggled with similar challenges. Like, yeah. Anyway, like I really appreciate what they do.
Thank you so much, Lindsay. All right, moving on to our next presenter. It's going to be Tim Hawk. I'll talk about projects that work.
Cool. So in the next minute, I'm going to attempt the impossible, and that is to make you feel just a little bit sorry for management consultants. So think about the last time you did something for the first time, and think about how long it took and how frustrating it was going round in circles. And think about the quality of it compared to when you've done it 5 or 6 times. And now imagine someone's paying £2,000 dollars a day for you to do that, and they thought you'd done it loads of times before. And that's the life of a management consultant, going from one project to the next, feeling like a novice while having to pretend to be an expert. And all that comes at the expense of a couple of things. And the first of that is the consultant's well-being. So the 30% additional time it tends to take when you do things for the first time, that just gets lost into late nights and lost weekends. And so it's no surprise it's an industry that's known for staff turnover and burnout. The second is margin. So for consultancies to make sure they're delivering on their client commitments, they often have to invest additional time and effort and accept the cost of doing that. And that's the problem we want to fix for both consultants and consultancies. We're going to start with how it will. Excuse me a sec. We want to stop consultants having to feel like novices by making it easy for them to find and apply the knowledge they need to be successful. And here's how we're looking to do that through our Bubble and Integra map build. We're going to start with looking at how it works when planning and running a workshop. And it starts with a library. We have a library full of both individual workshop activities and complete workshop structures. This library is made up of both templates we provide as projects that work and templates our clients add in their personal libraries to reflect their way of doing things. And every workshop delivered by that client within projects that work is available for use by their colleagues in the future. So that's how we go about finding knowledge. When it comes to applying that knowledge, I find what's relevant for me and simply click select. With that, it brings through a preparation checklist to make sure I've done all I need to do to prepare for the workshop, links to the different materials I'll need to prepare for the slides or the boards that I'm going to use. And for each activity, selecting facilitation notes and question prompts so that I can feel confident as I go about delivering the workshop. When it comes to running the workshops, these are cleanly and simply displayed so I as a consultant can concentrate on my client. And without needing to do anything, this workshop structure is now available for my colleagues to use in the future when they're doing something similar. We don't just stop at workshops, we help our clients with interviews, deliverables, and entire project structures. They all follow the same find, apply, and capture process, so consultants never need to feel like a novice again. And so for us, the on-deck period has been about 2 things. The first has been getting the product into beta, which we finally managed to do last Friday. And the second has been building our pipeline by approaching founders and execs of small and medium-sized consultancies in the UK. And so far, every one of the 16 sales discovery calls we've had has led to a follow-on demo. And of the 9 demos we've done so far, 4 have led to committed pilots. And of those pilots, one organisation we're paying £1,000 a month during it, and the other we're just finally negotiating the price. So if you're a consultant and sick of feeling like a novice, then please join our waitlist now at Projects That Work. I look forward to any questions.
And just to make sure I get this part, the intended audience is a mid-tier management consulting firm to be able to roll this out to their employees.
Yes. Yeah.
And when you looked at that, sort of and this is entirely meant to be internal facing, not client facing.
Yeah, for now. The client facing may come in the future, but for now, internal facing.
And I may have missed this, but you use Bubble, right?
Yeah. So it's 95% Bubble with a little bit of Integra map for some automation in the background.
Awesome. Looks good.
There might be an opportunity in the long run to have almost like a consulting backend for the consultants. So if you run into bigger problems, you can actually have like an internal expert group for advice.
Yeah, definitely. And I think similarly, there might be a community angle around different consultants sharing some of their templates and approaches in a more of a contractor market, as opposed to being full-time employees. That could be an option in the future too. But yeah, similar sort of idea, community side.
And is there a CMS at the back end, or like how's all of that put together?
The CMS is within Bubble, so it's kind of within the Bubble database.
Yeah, Bubble's really good at this building CRMs like this I mean, I know how much work, Tim put into this, so definitely no easy feat. However, Bubble's very much, positioned to easily build something like this with, tons of effort on the polishing end.
Right. And then, but the intention is for the client to modify and mix and match this, or is it the intention that you'll do it for them?
So a bit of both. So we'll seed it with a set of standard industry templates, but then the client will be able to add and amend their own so they can personalize it for their way of delivering projects.
Got it. Great.
Tim, you promised that at the end we will feel sorry for management consultants.
You don't, do you?
Yeah, no, I don't. Not
Your wife helps, so.
All right. Thank you so much, Tim. That was awesome. Moving on to our next presenter. It's going to be Jennifer talking about passion fruit.
Awesome. Hi, I'm Jen, and I'm super excited to present to you passion fruit. As Naval already said, eventually everybody will be in the creator economy. In the last month, we talked to 100 creators, and here's the crazy thing we learned. Only 30% of their time is actually being spent on content creation, and 70% of the time goes into admin. Let's break this 70% down into 4 big pain points. Creators like Laura have a scattered online identity. They get a bunch of requests from companies they need to respond to manually, and the majority of them is not even relevant. The collaboration can take up to 50 emails back and forth, and they need to run after companies to get paid. 40 hours are being spent for these tasks every single week. What if we can reduce it down to just minutes? Meet Passion Fruit, the new ally that helps creators to save time, earn more money, all in one place, so that creators can focus on what really matters to them. Let's see how the product works for a creator we know.
Hi guys, this is a sneak peek of how our product simplifies a creator's life. This is KB Storefront. Let's say Marielle from Bubble wants to work with him. She can directly see all the stats about his audience across platforms, his values, and also the products and services he offers at one glance. She can then select the sponsored ad in his newsletter and fill out a preset form. That way, KP has all relevant information to confirm the collaboration in one go. Let's have a look at how this is captured at the back end. In the request funnel, KP has full visibility on his pipeline and can manage requests one by one. In the open bucket, we see Bubble's current request. He sees the most relevant information bundled, but also the contact details for his personal CRM. He can then send an automatic rejection email with one click. What took 20 mails back and forth in the past took him now just a few seconds. KP also got a request from my company. KP and Passion Fruit can exchange messages and work async on the editorial content for this request. This provides version control and easy access. We just see also that Marielle should have received an email. And when we're done with Passion Fruit, we're good to go.
During ODNC2, I started as a newbie on my no-code journey, and I ended up with a team of 2 strong operational and technical co-founders who share my mission, building Europe's most diverse tech company. We shared our landing page with our creator community, and we're also building alongside them. We launched a newsletter, got 74 signups, creators are giving feedback, and turned into evangelists, advisors, and interested angel investors. In terms of first traction, we're starting the first test phase with creators and their managers who have a combined reach of 3 million people. We also began partner with big platforms like YouTube, who hired us to give a workshop for their creators. Our no-code stack and the primary product was mainly built with Adalo and the rest of those tools. And join the waitlist, spread the word, and share with those people who need this. Thank you.
Great, thanks. Judges.
Go ahead, Marielle. I imagine Marielle's going to become an influencer very soon, and we'll have to collect, sort of.
Yes. So thank you so much, Jennifer, also for the shout out. So are you using, I saw that there was a portion, so you started off with Bubble and then you moved over to Adalo. You wanted more, what was the rationale there?
Yeah, so I went through a couple of tools, and I think Bubble obviously still has the the capability to build the most complex products. But for me, it's really important to build and ship something fast to test out my hypothesis. So that's why in the end, we went out for Adalo, which we built in a couple of weeks to just ship faster and test faster.
Got it. And then is the partnership with YouTube going to be mainly like a training exercise, or they're actually going to use the product that you built?
For us, it was just a first really great channel, using them as a multiplier, because obviously YouTube creators are having a multi-SKU portfolio. So we use YouTube to distribute and acquire new customers with that. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Okay, 3-second silence. Andreas, I'm waiting on you, but if no questions, I'll move on to the next presenter.
I'm mostly trying to imagine which one of us is most likely to use the product. And at first I thought it was Mariel, but maybe it's Andreas, just looking at his cap and like that cool black knight behind him.
Yeah, it's a virtual background if anybody is asking.
You're going to become a sponsor for Croatia. They'll have to pay you. Yeah.
I love that.
Thank you,
Awesome.
Jennifer.
Thank you, Jennifer. This is great. So moving on to our next presenter, it's going to be Jeremy Wilt talking about the Side Hustle Guide.
Hey everyone, Jeremy here. Just so everyone knows, I'm a serial side hustler. I build websites for clients. I sell gorilla t-shirts. I sell baseball cards on eBay. And that's me in the bottom corner in a bunny outfit at Halloween driving for Uber. So 1 in 3 Americans actually have a side hustle today. 1 in 4 plan to start one this year. That's a big population looking for stuff on the left about how to get started, finding stuff on the right about lists and too many options, right? So I built something to help anyone considering starting something new find their fit faster. So if you're thinking about extra income and you're not sure where to start, you take a 5-minute quiz. We'll match you based on your personality, preferences, and resources. Side Hustle Guide helps people find their fit faster without having to scour the web for resources. No more searching, trying, failing, and waiting months to make extra income. Now there's a guide to help you focus on what matters and increase your chance for success. After a quick sign up, a free 5-minute quiz asks unique questions about a person's skills, hobbies, typing speed, previous experience, and what they value most. Risk versus reward, fun or money, social or alone. As soon as they complete the quiz, a homegrown algorithm matches them against a database of hundreds of side hustles. Based on their best fit, they get a personalized recommendation of top options. And each side hustle comes packed with valuable information about what to expect and how to get started. They can also sign up for premium support with a community feature to share tips, ask questions, and get expert advice. They can update their profile at any time. New feature updates their side. Thanks, Softer. They just launched this yesterday. As more data gets fed into the algorithm, refactoring my code, more accurate for no code over time. And the catalog is growing daily with lots of new side hustles across a variety of industries and skill sets. Side Hustle Guide is starting with helping people get started, but we're most motivated by helping side hustlers reach success. So I started this 2 weeks ago. I did a bunch of deep diving discovery, dug into this space, what's going on, what services and options are out there for people, build a list, build a feature idea, board, and a vision type. So a bunch of fake clicks and a landing page, put it out there with a mini quiz, got some great feedback from folks, feedback about how to update my landing page, help from Ben Alexander. Shout out Ben for helping me through the API connection. I tested and iterated the product, got some great feedback on Twitter. I'm even capturing data from Hotjar so I can actually see people live using my site. I'm kind of iterating as I go. And what I'm learning, and my stack is mainly Softer, but also Typeform, Zapier, a few other things in the background. So just continuing to build and iterate from here. I'm not in a plane, but we got some extra time. Anyone thoughts, questions?
Super caffeinated.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm double, triple caffeinated right now. So thanks.
This is awesome. The one question I have is, what's your cohort analysis look like? What makes someone keep coming back?
Yeah, so I think that's the community feature. I haven't built it yet, but I've got some like landing page waitlist stuff going. I think the goal is custom guides. So once you decide you're going to do X, like do the no code thing, we'll come alongside. We'll give you expert guidance. We'll help you start the LLC in your state, figure out what bank account to get, all the stuff that people navigate outside of the side hustle part. That's like no one knows how to do, and you have to Google 1,000 places for.
That's very true. Thank you so much, Jeremy.
Yeah.
I personally think you're onto something really big. Like worst case, it becomes like a really, really good content / community for you. There's like multiple like this. There's like Points Guy and like Rideshare Guy and this kind of stuff, and they make like serious money. If you want, I can connect you to Rideshare Guy if this is interesting. He might have like a few good pointers here. In general, I think this is also very much needed as we are like getting in a very interesting economic phase where a lot of people need extra income. So I think this is a really good project.
Thank you. Couldn't agree more. People need this right now.
So I'm also a little obsessed with giving demos in general. I think there was a clever way that you did the demo in which you shortcutted a lot of things so that, but you provided a voiceover in real time. How'd you actually do that?
I recorded the whole thing and then I did like 72 takes of me talking over it. And then right before this thing, I tried to drop it in Rotato so you're going to see it on a Mac and everything. And I gave up on that. But I've been doing this a lot on the side for a while. So just practice.
Really
your voiceover was recorded, right?
Yeah. After I made the video, then in iMovie, I just threw a voiceover on top of it.
Yeah.
Very ingenious.
Thanks so much.
That's pretty cool. Thank you so much, Jeremy.
Thanks so much.
Moving on to our next presenter, it's going to be Pranay Singhal talking about college immersion.
Okay. For the last 3 years, I've been helping high school students go through the process of applying, discovering, and attending summer programs at universities. Think of these as summer camps that are hosted by and at universities themselves. So meet Miranda, one of the students I help. She's a high-achieving student who's super busy and has a lot on her plate. For her, after learning about the benefits of a summer program, she's decided to go through the process and start applying, starting with discovery. She spends hours trying to discover programs, searching blogs with outdated links, going Google searches, or using my first MVP, which was a spreadsheet with URLs on it. After deciding she wants to apply to 5 different programs, she starts the application process, applying to each one individually, and slowly becomes discouraged, and at the end decides that she doesn't even want to apply to the last 2 on her list. For programs, they're losing out on these students like Miranda because of the time-intensive nature of these applications. Furthermore, they can't even, they're limited in their marketing and outreach capabilities due to their small teams and manual processes that distract them from reaching out to more students. And that's where college immersion comes in. It's a one-stop shop platform connecting high school students and summer programs. Here's a demo.
As a high school student, I can go through the directory and find programs I want to learn more about and click apply. And start my application. And within the One App portal, I'll see which programs I have applications for. Add additional programs to that list. So let's add Harvard. I'll see Harvard here. In the One App, I can go ahead and add my information. So let's enroll in Math 101 and Science 101. Add some personal statements here. And save my application. Once I've completed my application, I can decide to submit, review. Great, done. Now, as program director, I can go into the application and decide what information I want to include in the request from applicants. In the Applicants tab, I can look at my various students and applicants and make decisions about them. So let's accept Pranay into Math 101. Great, he's accepted. Under Courses, I can manage all the courses that I offer, see which applicants have expressed interest and who's enrolled, and send emails requesting payments for those who haven't paid yet.
So I started this project before ODNC, and at that time, it was just a directory of 120 programs. Since then, I've partnered with Minds Matter, which has about 500 students nationally. They're going to be using the directory, as well as I'll be getting reviews from historical attendees, transitioning the directories into a review site. For the One App, I actually built this from scratch in the last week, as well as launched a private beta with Minds Matter San Francisco and one summer program to be using it for a few students to try it out and ultimately launch for them to transition to that platform next year. Here's my stack, and thanks to everyone who's been on this journey with me. Any questions?
So just to make sure I get this part, so is this a common app for summer school, or what's the right way to think about this?
Common App is actually one of the best ways to think about this. It's pretty much taking the exact same thing and having one application portal for all the different programs that exist today.
And then do you need the people on the back end, like the actual schools, to agree to work with you, or?
So it's actually not the universities that would be agreeing. So the programs are, while they're branded and affiliated with the university, are separate departments. So I would be working not with the university as a whole, but with these small teams of 1 to 3 people. And with them, I would have to go through that process and partner with them to go on board.
This is a pretty complex bubble build, so I know how much effort this took, so thank you so much, Pranay. I also think that Mind Matter is a really good partnership since they are all over the US. And so don't have any specific questions. I guess my only question is your plan to expand to other organizations like Minds Matter?
Yes, that's part of my rollout planning for trajectory, is partnering with a lot of nonprofit organizations. Like the Minds Matter works with low-income high school students. And so I want to partner with the hundreds of others that exist out there, as well as partnering with high school counselors and any organizations that work with high school students in particular.
Great work, Renee. Thank you.
Yeah, I have no specific question, but amazing progress. Kudos on those partnerships.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And thanks, Pranay. Moving on to our next presenter, it's going to be Nicholas Zona talking about business blocks.
All right. Hey, everybody. My name is Nico. Super excited to pitch you business blocks today, a better way to harness your company's knowledge. So the problem is that knowledge is fragmented throughout your organization and platform confusion is everywhere. Take KP, Janelle, and Morris, for example, the best team since the '96 Bulls. However, I'm sure there's some things that Janelle does that KP thinks he knows that's very different in practice. Founders, teams, forward thinkers, and scalers, anyone who needs their team to perform at a high level knows this pain. So the solution, business blocks. It's a platform for companies and individuals to capture their workflows and experiments to add to a living library of knowledge. Think Video Notion, but for business workflows. I have a quick video for you.
This is Business Blocks, and we're here to harness your company's knowledge. Right now, your team's expertise is spread out and, quite frankly, lost in all the day-to-day tasks. Rather than keeping all that wonderful information in their noggins, we created a platform to index and log what they're best at. Cool, right? Turn the static into insights. Those insights of workflow and thought processes get turned into action and problem solving by everyone else on your Rocketship. Onboarding and company-wide improvements have never been easier. So let's get started with your dashboard. You can record a video or check out a video posted by Chuck Morris or see who needs your help. Want to record a video? You will be asked to go freestyle or pick from one of the prompts. Want to watch a video? Then pop over and check out what Morris is saying. But don't forget to drop a comment. You can also message directly within the app to keep your conversation siloed and not lost in yet another Slack channel. And that is Business Blocks.
All right, let's jump into traction. 34 signups on the wait list so far. I was even able to beat up 3 customers, giving me their credit card information for pre-sales. Emily's excited about the search functionality. DeMonte's excited about this in a remote first world. Reed and Matt super excited about how this could impact their learning. So the stack, Figma for design, Webflow for the interface, Pipe Video for the recording within the interface, Airtable to keep all my data tidy, Zapier to make sure everything talks to each other, Speak.ai for transcription, and MemberStack to keep all my members happy. Calls to action today. If this is interesting to you, please join the waitlist and follow me on Twitter @NicoZona. And I do want to leave you with one last quote. Learning through corporate videos is a bit like giving Forrest Gump a cane. Business blocks is like strapping a jetpack to him and letting him fly. It's a completely different game. That got me super excited about this, and I hope it did you. Thank you so much for the time, and I hope you have any questions for me.
Okay, so it's always a little hard to tell with slicker advertisements like that. Tell me what parts of the product actually work and don't work right now.
Well, I'm still designing. So this is a 2-week-old idea. So I have the designs, I iterated. I have an idea of what it's supposed to look like. I'm currently building it out in Webflow. But to log on any beta users, I'm probably about a month away. It's definitely not a functional app by any means, but that's when you're connecting all these things together and they're not talking to each other. Some days I think it's going to take years to build. Sometimes I'm like, maybe next week I'll get it out. So only time will tell.
Yeah, I'm of the strong opinion. You always want to lead with your best foot forward. And so that feel like the advertisement was the best foot forward. At the same time, it was a little hard to tell. So
I understand.
Yeah, that video was pretty sneezy and really loved the presentation, but I had similar questions to James, so thanks so much for clarifying. But check out Bubble. It could make your process be a little faster.
I will.
Sorry.
That's a good note.
Mario, where do you work again? Just kidding.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Wait, oops, it's on my name.
okay, Andreas is,
it was too easy.
Andreas is looking serious, like he has a serious comment for this. What were you going to say?
Sorry. Yeah, sorry. I'm not the big fan for marketing videos. I'm like the Germanic engineer. Question here. So first of all, if I understand this correctly, basically what you do is essentially around the idea of employee training. Like, this is roughly like correct. Like I do videos, I explain a process, people can follow this process.
Yeah, so it's kind of two parts. So one is the experiment phase. So I think people do a poor job of capturing experiments. So Janelle, if she decides she wants to pick up a new YC company that does surveys on the blockchain and the metaverse, and she doesn't tell KP about it. So KP is not going to know about that experiment. Maybe she dumps it 6 months later. All that knowledge could be lost if she leaves. So that's one of the areas. And then employee onboarding is the other area where I think people want to learn from people they best conform to. So finding that person you learn from, whether it's your manager or not your manager, understanding those processes that go into your day-to-day actions.
Cool stuff.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Nico. Awesome. Okay, so moving on to the last pitch of the day. It's going to be Kelly Kloss talking about roads. Take it away, Kelly. No pressure.
No pressure. Following all that. Come on, guys. Okay, here we go. Get ready. We are about to dive into the super sexy world of nonprofit grant writing. So, life for a grant writer. You find out about a grant opportunity, which is very exciting because your organization needs money to save puppies or whatever you do. And you think, I'll write a proposal and I'll apply for that grant. Now, you've probably written a similar proposal like 1 million times before because most funders want to know the same information. So in theory, you could just reuse one of those old proposals, right? Nope, you can't do that because the questions in any given grant application or RFP vary just enough from every other RFP that you have to tweak the language a little bit to make it work for that funder's requirements. So you open up a fresh Google Doc and you start borrowing language from these old proposals you've written. You might pull some from here, a little bit from over here, some more from over here. And that sounds like a pretty good hack, but the problem is you first have to find and then read through lots of old proposals to find the language that you need. It can take hours just to write a first draft. This process is so torturous that there are actually sessions on how to handle it at grant writing conferences. It is a real problem. My solution is a filterable catalog of past language. It's called Rote, and it's built 100% in Bubble. And here is my walkthrough.
We'll start on the projects page where I can see all the proposals I'm working on right now. I'll click through to see more details about this one. And down at the bottom, I can see all the questions on this RFP that I need to write language for. Now, I've already pulled reference language for most of these, but we've got one more to work on. This page is the heart of the app. On the left, you can see all the language I've previously loaded into the system that's relevant to this question's topic. I can filter further if I want, but for now, I'll just work from what we have. I can select any language I think will be useful in writing this question, click the plus sign, and it will be added to my reference language. Once I've done this for all the questions, I'll want to pull some data from my research library to use throughout my proposal. This works very much the same way, so I'll just fly through it. And now we'll move on to the final step. This page has all the reference language I've collected. I can just click this button to copy it to my clipboard and paste it into Google Docs as the first draft of my proposal. Once I've submitted to the funder, I'll need to add my final language on this page, which takes just a few minutes. And now everything I've written for this proposal is in the system and ready to use for my next project.
In terms of progress, I've had this idea for a really long time. I've built it out in a bunch of different platforms, but then in April, I discovered Bubble. I built a pretty janky V1 in May, and since the beginning of ODNC, I've rebuilt about 2/3 of it, actually reconfiguring the whole thing for a slightly different user. And I should be onboarding some beta users in the next 2 weeks. In the future, I'm hoping to incorporate some AI models to streamline data entry into the system, which is currently a little bit annoying. And holy cow, wouldn't it be cool if we could just get computers to do it all for us so we can spend more time saving puppies and less time writing stupid grants. And that is right.
Okay, so I've got a dumb question. As far as like actually taking the grants you've written in the past, and then I guess annotating them or putting them in those boxes, how do you actually do that?
Mm-hmm. Straight up copy paste. You would have both next to each other and just copy paste. I would love to be able to just load it into Bubble, and I know you can work that out. I just haven't done it yet. I haven't learned how to do that yet. That's the biggest challenge.
Well, Kelly, you can reach out to me offline and then we can sit down and figure it out together. Really great work. Really beautiful presentation. James, I don't know whether you had anything additional. So I had a similar question, and I guess it would be around exporting then, to how the export process works. I assume you're still figuring that out, or?
Yeah. I found some threads on the forums that explain it, and they were, I've just started in Bubble a few months ago, so I'm still learning. Yeah, I'm still learning, but.
If only there was a better way to do Q&A with all those resources you have.
Only exactly. But thank you so much, James. I don't know if you wanted to add anything else.
The extraction from like previous applications and the export shouldn't be too hard. Like it's mostly structured data, like Google Docs and PDFs. Like you at least know if something's a title or not, and if this is good enough to like at least create blocks that people can afterwards then like just point to the right keywords. That should be really straightforward to program into like an API that like Bubble can consume. So like yeah, pretty cool. In general, like I have filled out like my fair share of grants in my life, and similar stuff. Like this is a pain in the ass, and I think you're like onto something here. Really interesting product. I think it's a bit bigger than actually just the non-profit grants. I think there's like a lot of similar use cases in a lot of industries.
Yep, I've gotten that feedback.
Even like applications for accelerators, you know, little things like that. Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome work.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kelly. With that, I think we're ready to move into the next segment here. I'm going to share my screen, and as we get to the next segment, we're going to move the judges to a breakout room so they can do some deliberation and come up with the final scores. You're going to have a tough time. I can already tell. There were terrific pitches so far. So
see you soon, everyone.
Let me know if you guys can see my slide again.
Yep.
Cool. Awesome. So for the folks who are in the audience right now and want to participate and elect the crowd favorite, that's the link you should go to odnc.io/crowdfave. Again, hype up your favorite builds and projects on Twitter, tag BeyondDeck, and also use the hashtag ODNC2. This is probably a good time, since we have about, 5 to 10 minutes, before judges get back, to, spend actually talking about your experiences at ODNC. So I'm going to call on a few folks. I'll also make sure that there's some audio in the background, so you're not just listening to me blabber on. Let's go. Okay. All right. So while we have some track in the background, I'm going to call on a few folks that I can see in the audience to, talk about their ODNC experience and, give gratitude or anything they want to for their fellows. Let me see if you have, hang on, let me see. Wagmini, are you on? You want to go off mute and share something?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I mean, this program's been so amazing. I don't even know where to start. But I think the best thing that we learned from this entire fellowship is to go from an ideator to being an actual builder, which I think was the first thing that KP said in the kickoff. So that's been really awesome. So firstly, I want to thank the team, KP, Janelle, Morris, you guys are so amazing. And I know how much hard work you put in to make this an amazing experience for us. So super grateful for you. And the fellows, each one of you has inspired me, even if I've never had a chance to interact with you one-on-one, but such an amazing group, and the energy is so positive. So I really love that. And of course, I want to give a special shout out to my mastermind team who's put up with me and like bared with me for all the crazy things and ideas that I went after in the past few weeks. So shout out to Alan, Ellie, Alessandro, and Jeremy. Thank you.
Love that. So let's see who wants to go next. Do we have Nina? Did you want to go? Maybe talk about your favorite experience at ODNC, like your favorite memory.
Oh, my favorite memory. That's a tough one. You're asking me to compile 8 weeks into one favorite memory. I think it's the overall experience of knowing that I now am part of a community of 114 others who are just as into no code as I am. And I really feel like it was the world's best summer camp where all we did was nerd out about new tools. And I mean, you saw what those guys just built, right? And not only are they amazing in building, but they're also so generous in sharing the knowledge and sharing that passion. It was just the most mind-blowing experience ever. I cannot recommend it enough.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Nina. Nina was a massive contributor in the community in ODNC, especially the second cohort. She led, community events and, was always trying, going above and beyond to give, and help others. So grateful to have people like you. Let me look at the ops side. Let's see if we have any update here about the prizes. Looks like they need a bit more time. Okay, we need a few more minutes. So I'm gonna call on maybe one more person to talk about their experiences, or maybe allow them to give gratitudes to whoever they want to. Rachel Ding, if you're here, can you go off mute?
Hey, thanks, KP. Yeah, I also want to give a special shout out to KP, Janelle, and Morris for engineering serendipity for all of us. For those of you who didn't see, I actually made a video for my mastermind group because there were just so many memories in our Slack channel and so many just fun jokes. And so thank you to Deborah, Sebastian, Facundo, Felix, and Matt. I don't think Matt's here, but we called ourselves the No Code Wookiees because apparently we were supposed to come up with a name for the groups, but I don't know if anyone else did. But honestly, it was just amazing to not only be able to bounce off ideas with each other, but also to ask ourselves kind of the real deeper questions to keep each other in check with our personal goals and values, all while still having fun. And literally I showed my video to my brother the other day and he's like, wow, like you don't always, walk away from online communities with so many deep relationships like this. So yeah, I just feel like this is such a special community and I'm so grateful to be a part of it.
Love that. Thanks for also including Star Wars music as part of your background in that video. That was so amazing to watch. So since we have 2 more minutes here, I just want to call on another on deck ODNC fellow. Let's see. Let me go to the gallery view and pick on someone. Alan, if you're here, do you want to go?
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to say something controversial here.
Please do. Keep it real.
I don't care that this is no code. And the thing is that for the last 8 weeks, I've been part of a community that's just like 100% supportive. And it's just like, I support them. Like these mastermind groups, actually we've had like breakouts from our mastermind group. That's been just like just friends talking, supporting each other. It's like, that's really what it's been for me. It's just like, go into a room where everybody's like has your back and I have your back. And it's nice to be able to be, sometimes I'm super smart, and sometimes I'm super dumb, but it's about experimentation and trying new things. And again, if you would have said, okay, all of you are going to build puppets for the next 8 weeks, I don't care. The community has been so cool. And so that's what this has been for me. It's just, in fact, a little note, I've been thinking about like, if I ran a company again, this is the culture I want, where I only bring awesome people in. So we all, and then it's just, like, put it like this, it's 99% of this hype is real and 1% is kind of like, just be part of it. But it really just, in fact, it becomes this overwhelming thing of positivity. And I think I've done a lot. I mean, okay, so you haven't seen very many of the apps. I was hanging out with my mastermind. Turns out I've shipped 7 apps during this thing. Like I thought I had done nothing. And suddenly I'm like, wait a minute. It's like every week I'm putting something out. And it's all, actually a lot of it is just riding the wave of positivity of this group.
I love that. Alan's joining as a fun fact. Actually, Alan has a lot of startup background. I mean, he's a prolific investor. I was frankly surprised when he applied because I was like, Alan, what are you doing here? Like, you're an investor, you're an angel. What do you want to do in the no-code space? But it was so wholesome to watch him get into the arena, right? Get workshop mode and just build, like you said, like 7, apps. Internally, we have a phrase for some of these like projects like that are like quick and just ship them. They're called dumb apps. And so many of our fellows have just taken the opportunity to just build something for themselves, maybe for 5 friends or 6 friends. And that's the spirit of building. And, of course, the community aspect is the spirit of service. And we wouldn't be here without the community aspect. I'm going to take a look at the update from our ops team about the awards, just to make sure that I have all of the data ready. Okay. So let's see. Okay, we might need another 30 seconds. They're still deliberating. How's the crowd poll doing? Let's look.
3-way tie.
3-way tie. Wow.
More nerve-wracking than the pitch.
Neck to neck. Okay. So we'll wait 30 more seconds. And we're going to go into announcements.
So we have a 7 a.m. party tomorrow? What?
Yes, we do. The wrap-up party for ODNC 2.
So that's a really late night for me, I'll just say. Anyway.
Awesome. Waiting for the cues. It could be any time now. I'm just as anxious as the fellows here to find out who the top 3 prizes are.
Hey, since this is like me in front of everybody for the first time, like one thing I've wanted to do is, before this even started, Ben goes, hey, I'm an investor. We're good. And so this, by the way, only applies to some investor nerds. I've never really got to know all the investors in the group. So if you wouldn't mind on Slack, I'll like swarm. I would like to meet the other investor nerds.
Absolutely.
Actually, and KP asked also on the Slack, if you're raising, so I'll put this one side. I would like to meet the investors. I never did.
You may know what
raising, KP has a program.
Absolutely. We definitely will make a group after this. And I think there's a person that you may recognize there, Roger Farley. It's definitely in the group, but we will actually we invite everybody else too. All right. So if we're all ready, I think we should go. Okay, I'm gonna start sharing my screen. Sorry, folks, we're having some technical difficulties and just delayed a little bit. Okay. I'm asked to not share my screen unless I get a cue. So I'm just gonna wait.
We're good, KP.
Did somebody say
All
we're
good.
good?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Let me just refresh my screen for good measure. And we're gonna start sharing. Okay, it's announcements time. The team has updated the slides at the background. So without further ado, let's find out who the winners are. Third place goes to Air Filter, Troy Gasnier. Congratulations, Troy. That was an amazing page. All right.
Thanks, KP. Thanks
Awesome. Moving on to the second place. My clicker, sorry. Second place goes to Uncovered, Anna. Congratulations. All right.
Awesome. Thank you. So excited.
Thank you so much. Moving on to the first place Demo Day winner. Wrote Kelly Klaus. Congratulations, Kelly.
You guys, amazing. Thank you so much.
That was awesome. We have a couple more prizes, so stay tuned, guys. We have the next prize is going to be the best bubble build, and it is going to Felix Tan, who actually hasn't presented today. But the best bubble project usually is across the whole cohort, not just the demo day. And his project is Support Bell. So congrats, Felix. If you're tuning in, he's in Singapore, so it must be too late for him. But we'll send you an email after the fact. All right, and the crowd favorite. This must not be a shock to anyone because you probably see the poll, but the crowd favorite is also Kelly Road. Congratulations, Kelly. Once again.
Guys. I love y'all so much.
Looks like you have a lot of fans. And I just want to take a moment and say congratulations and a huge round of applause to everybody who's presented today. I mean, I want to acknowledge, of course, there's 3 prizes or 4 prizes, but really, I think at the end of the day, anybody who presented, shared their story with everyone and with the world here, I think is a winner. And this moment is bigger than all of us. To me, it is about making no code mainstream. And I think if that's the goal, all of us have won. And we're getting all kinds of pings from investors and other people who want to, find out what can be possible with no code. And this is the mission that we're passionate about. So just want to make sure that I have no more prizes left or no more slides left. Actually, yeah, a few words from our judges. I mean, James and AK and Marielle, if you're still around, feel free to go off mute and share a few words.
Thank you so much. I'm still around for being here and having me here, KP and On Deck. Amazing group of folks. It was super, super hard. They had to tell us, come on, guys, you got to stop, deliberating. So we really appreciate all the hard work it takes to build and your creativity and passion. It's really inspiring. I will also say, if anyone in the audience is interested in becoming a bubble instructor, please reach out to me. And I'll put my email and my calendar link to set up some time. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Andreas or James?
I guess my only note here is that, of course, on the one hand, you want this to be mainstream. On the other hand, you guys are on the forefront of a little secret, and you kind of want to take advantage of that secret as much and as intensely as possible. So good luck with your journey.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I just want to say it's ridiculous what you folks built in 2 weeks. It's such absurd. And thanks so much for KP and everybody in the crew for organizing this. This was an amazing evening.
Thank you. I appreciate you joining, and appreciate the judges, who spent Friday with us. It's a big deal, a big ask for spending, an hour and a half, 2 hours. And so we, as No Code community and ODNC, we really appreciate it. With that said, thank you. We have a link here to fill out the feedback, help us, improve this program. We're iterating this every cohort. We want to make sure that it makes, it gets better and better over time, just like our No Code projects. And if you're considering to apply to the third cohort, it's going to start soon. That's the link, beyonddeck.com/no-code. With that said, I'm going to cue my outro music. And thanks everyone for being here today. Signing off, it's KP and Janelle and Morris from ODNC team and On Deck.